Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is F1 Fanatics. Welcome back to the channel and to another episode of F1 Fantasy Weekly. Stephen is in orange to support Max, and I'm in orange to stand with solidarity with Lando Norris, as he was the winner of the Russian Grand Prix. He won, right? I turned off 5 laps to the end because I just thought he had it in the bag.
Yes.
He won, though.
He won. Lando won.
He won?
He won, yeah, he won. Absolutely smashed it. The rain came and he put on a masterclass. McLaren pitted him and he went on to Inters and he cruised to victory.
Yeah. No, that happened.
Yep. Lando won.
That's what I heard.
That's what we did in the review, because Lando scored 10 million points last week.
Yeah, he did. If you turboed Lando Norris, you basically won F1 Fantasy.
Yeah. That's 20 million points right there?
20 million points right there. That's unrecoverable at any other point, because Lando Norris won
Sochi. The Sochi Grand Prix.
Oh, pain.
Whatever.
Pain for Lando Norris. F1 Fantasy, what we're going to do, obviously, it's F1 Fantasy Weekly, but we're not going to make it weekly, because we just in terms of viewing, well, you can let us know. Let us know in the comments if you do still like the review element of F1 Fantasy. We've seen just not as many people watch the reviews, but they're interested in the preview. So we're here to obviously preview this weekend's Turkish Grand Prix! Turkey Grand Prix racing weekend this week. Today! No. Sunday. Yeah.
Right, let's get into the preview, shall we? Obviously, last preview, we came up with our team.
Our team.
The dream team that wasn't actually possible, it turns out. In hindsight,
I was only 0.4 million short of it.
But you've got quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
The whole thing was our team, like everyone could go for it.
No, yeah, that really backfired.
And really no one could.
Yeah, there was a lot of confused people going, can anyone do our team? There were very few portions.
So we need to come up with a new our team.
Well, I put signs in, and that became my team.
You had a very good week, because you had Max, Bottas, who both came top 5. You turboed Lando, I guess. And so you got the 20 million points. You had Carlos Sainz, and then who was the 5th one?
Pierre Gasly!
Who actually also
didn't do great.
Okay, let's forget about that R team. Let's do an R team for Turkey. Well, we need to rebrand it.
Well, Stephen, first of all, I think you should tell me who's on a streak.
There's only one man.
Oh, right.
Which one do you think?
Lando? Ricardo.
Hey! He's on a quali streak.
Quali streak. Oh, well, that's risky. I'm not bringing in Ricardo for a quali streak. He's got a lot better. He's on, obviously, a streak. That's why he's here. But, I don't know.
There'll be a lot of race streaks next week. Not next week, the next race, there's a Lando, Sainz, Fernando, Checo, Bottas, all on race streaks. Could have a team of 5 there.
Sick.
But that's for...
We're thinking about Turkey, man. Turkey. Don't go ahead.
Well, it's just like one streak, like...
For honestly. This week, Max, Bottas. Because I think Bottas is coming into a bit of form now that he's leaving Mercedes. So I think he's just enjoying it. He's
just maybe
he Mercedes could win the 2021 title.
Mercedes won't replace his engine because he's on like a streak of engine penalties at the moment. But yeah, If he doesn't get a new engine, sure he could do it.
Max, Bottas, Sainz, it's in 4.
Da, 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 da.
Lando, and then Ricciardo.
You can't afford it.
Why? Why can't I afford it? Let me have the drivers I want.
Ignoring that 5th driver for the moment, are we now
Gasly.
saying McLaren is a very feasible constructor choice over Red Bull?
Yes.
Gotta agree.
Checo's just up and down.
A note about Turkey, Ferrari, both cars will have their new engines.
So
I think Sainz may have a penalty coming though.
Yeah, because Leclerc took the penalty last race, so I presume Sainz would be there.
Yeah.
So it may result in me having to take out Carlos Sainz, and then Carlos Sainz isn't an option. Then maybe Alpine, Fernando Alonso.
Yeah.
Because Alonso's just been a consistent scorer. Get Pierre Gasly. McLaren as a constructor because Checo's just like a wave.
No, stay away from Checo.
It's just weird. It is a weird one for Red Bull. They should technically have been like Mercedes last year. Error on there, because Mercedes were basically priced out the market. If you have Mercedes, you compromise so much on every other part of your team that it's really difficult to kind of get those points back.
Yeah.
With Red Bull being about 10 mil cheaper, it should have been everyone's pick, and constructor became boring again because you're like, pick Red Bull. Like last year, we were just on repeat. Pick Mercedes. I think they didn't top the charts in like 3 races last year. It was something stupid like that.
That's so ridiculous, yeah.
But yeah, genuinely McLaren and Ferrari are options, but Ferrari also are Ferrari. So I think McLaren is the stronger option.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would be my pick of constructor.
It's crazy. I would have never considered McLaren to be a consistent choice, but I think it's getting to that point that they're coming in with so many top 5s, double top 5s or double, top 10s. No, they're a great choice. Great cheap option.
Yeah.
And then it gives you the option to go Max, Bottas, Norris, Sainz and Gasly.
Yeah. And I think if Sainz doesn't take the engine penalty or doesn't have a penalty, or if it's only 5 grid places, but I would assume that it's going to be more than that.
I think Leclerc's was only about 5, wasn't it?
Well, Leclerc started from the back, didn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't participate in Q2.
That would be it.
So I think qualified 15th and then dropped to the back, yeah.
Didn't want to risk it. Didn't want to go anything over the top, keeping that engine protected. I get it. They just kind of sacrificed Sochi, as you can actually make your way through the field pretty well, as shown by Max and Bottas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the ideal scenario now going into the end of this season, barring a few choices, if you've worked up the budget, obviously if you don't have the budget, then it becomes a little bit more interesting when we talk about those options. But I think you've got to have a Mercedes driver, and Bottas seems like he's putting it together. You've got to have a Red Bull driver, and realistically only Max Verstappen, as he's fighting for the title. You've got a championship contender, and he's far more affordable than Lewis Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Lando will just be a dead cert that you've got to have for the whole season. I think you just ride the wave with him. There'll be ups and down weeks, but consistently over the season.
90% of the season he's been a must-have.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can risk those weeks where you don't back Lando Norris, but I think those weeks are very few and far between. And then a Ferrari driver, because I think it's literally top 2 teams, Mercedes, Red Bull. Next 2 teams, McLaren, Ferrari.
Yep.
And realistically, that partnership is Norris-Sainz. Because Sainz has performed a lot better than probably a lot of people gave him credit for, including myself.
Yeah.
I thought he went to Ferrari to be Charles Leclerc's whipping boy, and that has not been the case.
He's made Charles... No, he hasn't.
But it's been a lot fairer of a contest.
Exactly. Yeah. And then your 5th one, Pierre Gasly, because he's normally fantastic. Normally, you go into Sochi on a quali streak and you back him. You turbo him to get the quali streak points, and he's always a strong contender. It's a strong car, and he's a good fifth pick.
He's a good fifth pick. But, okay, so now bringing in those options where people might not have the budget and they might have to go two of the cheaper ones. Ocon Gasly, I think, still a good partnership.
Yep.
I think Alpine have strengthened through the year, and although not really there to challenge McLaren and Ferrari, they consistently look the fifth best car with both drivers. Gasly obviously is putting himself up there in between the Alpines and sometimes even between the McLaren and Ferraris.
Yeah.
Because he's been that good this year, but obviously Tsunoda's been nowhere for most of the season. And then George Russell.
George!
Just good, consistent point scoring.
Though I think he had a bad week in Sochi. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because he qualified P3.
He still got in the points, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but he still qualified P3. So he was always going backwards unless it was another Spa situation.
Mm.
So, yeah. Look,
he's a great pick. He's a great super cheap pick.
He is, and Mick Schumacher remains a decent pick for just solid points. But you're at that point in the season where realistically most teams, if you're playing at this stage, should have probably made the budget enough just by natural attrition through the season would have ruled out the Mick Schumachers, and you're now looking at the kind of Giovinazzis, Ocons and Gaslys.
Yeah.
And I think it's Ocon and Gasly that probably win that battle.
Easy.
Stroll, did you take a gamble on?
Nope.
I think someone took a gamble on Stroll. And it kind of paid off.
He was wild. He was wild in Sochi.
Yeah.
He was having a wild time.
Yeah.
Nearly took out Sebastian. He took out Pierre Gasly.
Yeah.
He was having fun.
He was having a great time. He's getting close to a race ban, I think, with penalties. Points. But crazy, yeah. Aston Martin.
Yeah. I'd back Sebastian, not Lance.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But it's the fact that Lance is a little bit cheaper.
Pretty cheap.
He's like Carlos Sainz. You know, although you'd want to, it'd be closer between him and Charles, but because Carlos Sainz has been right up there and 2 million cheaper, you just go Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
So Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel, there hasn't really, Sebastian's highs have been a lot higher, but Lance has probably been a little bit more consistent.
Probably.
I'd have to have a closer look at the points from there.
I think the stats show that, but yeah.
Yeah. Turbo
I choose
driver.
not to look at those.
Turbo driver. If you've got Ricciardo, Turbo Ricciardo.
But most likely, Lando.
I think so.
Bounce back.
I think Lando will do strong here. Absolutely. So there you go. What a roundup. Any ones to avoid? Raikkonen on his Latifi,
Nikita.
Mazepin, Tsunoda,
Kimi. Lewis, maybe he's too expensive. I feel like Red Bull going to have a strong weekend. Yeah.
Back in my team, Red Bull! Red Bull!
What do you mean?
Give the wins, Red Bull!
I don't support Red Bull. I don't support that Dutch guy. What's his name? Max Verstappen? Max Verstappen? Don't like him.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. And that is a beautiful way to round off F1 Fantasy for another week. Don't forget to let us know what your top picks are going to be for this weekend. Let us know in the comments down below. If you do want us to do a review, we can obviously do that. We were just going that there didn't seem as much interest as the kind of previews going into an F1 Fantasy weekend, because I guess it's the picks, that's where you can make points. Review, they're like, duh, I know that I screwed up this weekend because I copied Mike's team. Duh.
It was our team.
It was our team.
I did not pick our team.
No.
I bailed
because
on
you
that
couldn't
straight
afford
away.
it, and I couldn't pick our team because I couldn't afford it.
I didn't even try to go close to it though.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I bailed.
You bailed pretty
Screw
early.
you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Dick move over here. Dick move. But yes, if they're new around here or haven't done so already, see what can they do?
They can like, subscribe, and ding that bell.
Ding it. So for now, you F1 fans, keep racing.